Hi, welcome. Come around, I'll show you something. Can you see what I can see? I'll show you again. Have a look. Look. Can you see it? You can't see it. Ah, okay. Let me give you one clue. And let's start with this engineering marvel, which we call the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
The Harbour Bridge has become world famous as a symbol of Sydney, but its construction was the result of over 100 years of discussion and planning. Work finally began on the bridge in September 1926.
Well, there's another story about the Harbour Bridge and how it started. And it was only for the vision of our Premier Lang and engineer Bradfield that the Harbour Bridge was built. The budget for the Harbour Bridge was rejected by the Parliament. Then this half a dozen people went to the State Bank and they just got the money, the deposit, and they started the Harbour Bridge. That's how it started.
I don't know whether that was the first tram, but it is certainly one of the early ones that went across the bridge.
Unnoticed by anyone, an extra horseman, Captain Francis de Groot, had joined the rear of the light horse escort, with historic consequences. Incensed that the bridge was not to be opened by royalty or by the Queen's representative, Captain de Groot galloped forward and slashed the ribbon with his sword. He was quickly hustled away and the ceremony continued. Finally, thousands of people walked across the bridge. Today, around 176,000 motor vehicles and 400 trains cross the Harbour Bridge every weekday.
What an incredible story and what an incredible project. But can you imagine when the project was finished, they actually sacked the Premier Lang? Premier Lang was sacked because of his actions. I mean, that great man with a vision, and they just sacked him. Can you imagine that? I mean, how did this man feel at that time when he did what he could to just deliver such a project? Now, let's have a look at the project once again. We did say 8 lines for cars, 2 lines for railways, 1 for pedestrian, 1 for cyclists. Now, look at our projects today. Look at our politicians today. Look at their vision. They built, for example, something that they call the M5. You know why it's called the M5? Yeah. M5, miles 5, because the average speed on the M5 is 5 miles an hour. Oh, you still want to know about this, why I'm here? No, wait, we just look at this story first. We're gonna go now to London, and we're gonna have a look at the little history there of the underground. Let's have a look at that.
Not many of us realise as we use this historic structure every day how impossibly brilliant the engineering of it had to be to defy a generation of doubters. Its engineering remains something Londoners should treasure as remarkable, groundbreaking and emphatically ours. It is one of the true wonders of the Western world. First propositioned over 150 years ago, it is now one of the world's busiest transport networks and finest examples of engineering. London has always been a popular destination, but never more than at the beginning of the 19th century, when it transformed into the largest city in the world. It was, on the face of it, an ambitious idea, running trains, and steam trains at that, in tunnels underneath London. By 1855, Parliament had everything it needed to approve the construction of the first underground railway in the world, the Metropolitan. Using cut and cover technology, workers excavated the entire 3.5-mile tunnel, laying the road back over the top as they went. combination of electric traction, hydraulic lifts and safe tunnelling technology give us the world's first deep tube electric railway. Thousands of Londoners were now using the tube daily. By the 1930s, the London transport system was unquestionably the best in the world.
And what's happening with the underground in London today? Let's have a look at that as well.
Today, one of the largest and most ambitious engineering projects in Europe is underway. Crossrail. 8 giant custom-made tunnel boring machines are working 24 hours a day to excavate the ground and build concrete tunnel walls. Once complete, many thousands of Londoners will go about their business largely oblivious to its presence. Perhaps we should, every now and then at least, reflect on what the city would be like if the tube had never existed. Be thankful for the visionaries of the past and hopeful that their legacy will once more receive the attention it deserves.
Incredible, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. These people, they have vision. And this is why I'm here. Because this is not working. Apparently we're losing $10 million every day running this thing in here. Sorry, I call it a thing because I don't really like it. I don't agree. I love Australia, but things like this, we might have to just look at them and change them and do what they do in other places. And here in Sydney, we have the most expensive land in Australia. And some of the suburbs in Sydney, they're the most expensive in the Southern Hemisphere. And we have this land in here occupied by something that is losing money. What can we do? Send it underground. That's what I think. Now, look at the benefits of it. No bridges. We don't have to worry about retaining walls or retaining any of the land. Any of this infrastructure, it doesn't have to be even galvanized when it's underground. Look at it now. It's all getting rusty. Look at it. And then what about the noise? Ask these people that they live next to the railway lines, what do they think about the noise? And what about the ugliness? Don't tell me that those things here, they look good. They're ugly. I don't know, maybe to me. I don't know, what do you think about it? But to me, they're very ugly. And imagine if we send the Sydney railways underground. It means that the traffic flow would be a lot better because now hundreds of streets, they just cut in half. When this goes, the streets will join again. Now we're just waiting in a lot of traffic, especially peak hour traffic, just to cross one bridge every 2-3 kilometers. Where's the next bridge from here? Down at Redfern. How many streets there are between here and Redfern? Have a look at this map that we just made. Incredible, isn't it? Now what about the value of this land? In a few years' time, our youngsters won't be able to buy not a flat, but a little garage. And of course, imagine how many thousands, or should I say hundreds of thousands of jobs we can create by building those tunnels and, of course, just having this land available for infrastructure. We should try to get rid of that. We'll bring the equipment that I have in London, start digging underground and get rid of this. This is Circular Quay, and I went there to meet some of my original friends. Have a look at that. This place in Sydney where we are now, it's called Circular Quay. And guess what? I found my dose. Gelato again. Now, have a look at this bridge. Remember we said on a previous episode about the Sydney railways that should go underground? Imagine if this bridge was under here. If the bridge was a tunnel under here. Yeah, we can't put the bridge underground, but we can make a tunnel underground. Imagine the view to this, to the bridge and the Sydney Harbour without this ugly thing just up here, you know? That's what I'm talking about. It's better if we just push it underground. It's a lot better.